Winning formula time at Vikings.com, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. It's great to be back with the 5-1 Vikings taking on Arizona this weekend. It's Paul Allen, Pete Bercich, analyst for the Vikings Radio Network, Gabe Henderson with Vikings.com and the Vikings Entertainment Network. And we'll begin with Pete and specifically Kyler Murray. And we've seen it before, including last year, where Kyler has a way of turning plays into street ball when he breaks contain or gets outside. How do you handle that?
Well, he poses a lot of different problems. Number one is that they do some planned, called runs with him, where they're pulling linemen and sending them one way and getting all the coverage to go the other direction. So there's him as a runner is a big deal. I think the second thing is, like you said, Paul, is just his ability to scramble within the pocket. So we may see a lot more of Brian Asamoah this week, guys like that, who have the speed and the ability to chase him down, because once he gets loose. I mean, the Cardinals were 3 of 10 on third down, one of which was a 3rd and 10 that Murray scrambled for to move the chains. Hard to play man-to-man against him, because then you're looking at your coverage and not the quarterback. So he does pose a lot of problems.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking of last year, week 2, when we played the Arizona Cardinals in Glendale, and there were 3 plays that stood out to me. They scored 17 points in 3.5 minutes. Kyler Murray, 3 passes, all outside of the pocket. And that changed the game pretty much. And if the Vikings want to win on Sunday, they have to keep him in the pocket. Danielle Hunter already knows how to do that. But like Pete said, you can't play man-to-man. You're going to have to switch up your coverages, switch up your pressure, and just play contained football. Be gap disciplined and be disciplined all together at the same time. And
DeAndre Hopkins, game-changing wide receiver for Arizona, recently came back from suspension. And when he plays, they score 27 points a game. So you potentially will need a big number to beat these Cardinals. And they've been giving up big numbers this year. So, Gabe, what are some keys to running up big, fat, crooked numbers against this defense?
I say get the ball downhill. And get the ball downhill immediately with Dalvin Cook. It worked last year. Yep. Dalvin Cook already had 100 rushing yards against the Cardinals before he got injured. The same defense is still on this Arizona Cardinals team this year, and they're giving up big yardage after big yardage game after game. And you look at the film last week when they played the New Orleans Saints, and Alvin Kamara, 10 yards here, 7 yards here, 8 yards here, all down the middle of that defense. If you continue to do that, then you can take shots over the top, and that's when Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, they're grittying in the end zone, having a lot of fun, and ultimately making this team better. When you look at the stat, one thing that stands out to me is when this Arizona Cardinals defense gives up 100-plus yards on the ground, they lose. When they give up less than 100 yards on the ground, they win. Let's get over 100 yards on the ground on Sunday.
Simplistically speaking, but I mean, for the Vikings to continue to win and complement that passing game, getting the running game to become more of an explosive threat be a great place to start it right here.
It would be, and one of the things just watching Arizona play on Thursday night against New Orleans is no press coverage. They played off all the time. And we saw what happened to the Chicago Bears through the year when they want to come into this place and play off coverage.
Yeah.
For them losing Rashard Lawrence, they're really struggling to get to the quarterback. So when you have off coverage combined with a pass rush that's inconsistent, I think it's going to be a great day through the air.
The Cardinals come into it 3-4. The Vikings are 5-1, and it's time for bold predictions on winning formula. And Gabe, we are going to begin with you.
All right, my bold prediction is Kyler Murray throws 3 interceptions on Sunday. And Jordan Hicks gets 1 of those interceptions. Kyler Murray, Pete PA says I'm 5'3" every time. Every day I see him, he says I'm 5'3", and I think Kyler Murray's a little shorter than I am, which is why he forces throws across the middle, which is why Jordan Hicks would get his 2nd interception of the season.
But we're not saying it disparagingly. The only problem is we have trouble finding enough phone books through Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center to put on that chair to get him up like navel high. Pete, bold prediction?
Gabe's too young to remember what a phone book really looks like.
They weren't yellow when I was born.
I put Cousins on a 300-yard plus passing game.
Whoa.
I think he's going to. He hasn't been there yet this year. But again, with a little bit what we alluded to earlier with the lack of consistent pass rush from these Cardinals, their resistance right now, I think, and they're not. I don't know if they have the guys to do it, the ponies to do it.
Yeah.
But the press, play man, do those things. If they're going to come out, like I said, and play some type of umbrella zone and keep things in front of them, they're going to be seeing a lot of JJ.
So Gabe Henderson has Kyler Murray on 3 interceptions, 1 to his former teammate Jordan Hicks. I'm going to fill out the other 2 and give them both to Patrick Peterson. Now, my bold prediction is saying Patrick Peterson will intercept Kyler Murray, but then Pat Peterson had a podcast where he said he's going to get his former teammate twice. So I'm on it. It adds up to Gabe's 3 and hopefully adds up to a Vikings 6th victory from 7 games. For Gabe Henderson and Pete Bercich, I'm Paul Allen. That's your winning formula into the Cardinals game, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.